I still remember that day. It was 2013 in a coffee bean and tea leaf in Manila, Philippines, where I was born and raised. My fingers were so cold, I could barely type. Yes, because the aircon was super high, but also because I was terrified. His name is Sebastian Marshall, and he is my hero. He is everything, he embodied everything I wished I could be. He's an American, he's an entrepreneur, he's location independent, he seems super productive. At least that's what I read from his blog. Actually, every night from like 12 midnight to 3 a.m., I would be lying in bed in the dark, reading. Either I would be on my phone reading his blog posts. He's very prolific on his blog, or I would be on my Kindle reading his book. He's published several books. Anyway, on one of these nights, I don't know what came over me, but I almost without thinking, I sent him an email. It was a reply to one of his tweets, and it wasn't a big moment. It was more like, this won't work anyway. He probably won't reply. Let me send it. Um, and thus, this brings me to present day in this 2013 in this coffee shop. It was 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon, 15 minutes before our scheduled call. My amygdala was screaming at me, "What the heck were you thinking? Your your English is super bad. You have an accent. You eat your words. He won't understand you. This is a waste of time. You're gonna waste his time," and all of this stuff. And I really was already thinking, uh, my goodness, I should just cancel this call or reschedule it to some time when I'm more ready and stuff like this. But without asking for my permission, without me knowing it, it was suddenly already 2:30 in the afternoon, the time of our scheduled call. And almost involuntarily, I joined the call. You know what? It was so fun. It was productive, useful. It was everything I wish it would be. It wasn't scary at all. He wasn't judging me. He never made me feel like I was wasting his time. And actually, it became productive. Like we decided to work together with an online collaboration. After a few years, it turned into collaboration of organizing a speaking tour across a dozen US cities from San Francisco to Miami. And then today, it's an 8 year friendship, one of the friendships I most value. And, I've had many calls like that since. Calls that have turned into jobs that have provided financial security, location independence, and even an opportunity to move and work abroad. I'm now in Germany, for example. And in a way, every one of these calls are the same. I accept them haphazardly, almost without thought. I join them very reluctantly, always with an idea that I should cancel or reschedule, and this likely will be a waste of time. And then later on, recalling that call with joy and gratitude that I made it happen despite all my fear and this nonsense that my amygdala would typically scream at me before every call. And every one of them, they're also scary right before the call, but then afterwards, I wonder, whatever was I so afraid of?